In the winter of 1748, in the small town of Malden, just north of Boston, Massachusetts, a child was born who would go on to become one of the most eccentric figures in American history. Timothy Dexter, born into a family of humble farm laborers, was not a child prodigy nor particularly bright. Despite his apparent lack of intellect, Timothy harbored grand ambitions. He believed against all odds that he was destined for greatness. At the tender age of 8, in an unconventional move, Timothy dropped out of second grade. He traded the confines of a classroom for the vast fields of a farm and later the demanding work of a leather tannery. His family watched in bemusement as young Timothy toiled, earning more money than any of them could have imagined. Yet he remained unsatisfied. He knew deep down that mere hard work wouldn't be his ticket to riches. When he turned 19, Dexter made a bold decision. He sold his best suite and moved to Newburyport, Massachusetts, a town bustling with economic activity. It was here that fortune finally smiled on him. He met Elizabeth Frothingham, a wealthy widow. Dexter's marriage to Elizabeth catapulted him into wealth overnight. He moved into her mansion and self-proclaimed himself Lord Timothy Dexter, a title that amused and bewildered his peers. Yet, with wealth achieved, Timothy found himself at a loss. What does one do when a lifelong dream is suddenly realized? He looked around Newburyport, observing the activities of the wealthy. Politics seemed to be the pursuit of the affluent. Dexter, with no education or political savvy, decided to run for office. However, his lack of critical thinking skills and education became apparent. The voters rejected him, and despite his persistent petitions, filled with egregious spelling errors and confounding logic, he was repeatedly denied a political role. In an ironic twist, the town, exasperated by his relentless petitions, bestowed upon him a mock title, the Informer of Deer in Newburyport, an area devoid of any deer. Timothy, oblivious to the joke, embraced his role with earnestness, scouring the town for non-existent deer and diligently documenting his findings. As the American Revolutionary War broke out, Timothy spotted an opportunity. He invested his savings into the nearly worthless continental currency. This move was seen as foolhardy, yet when the war ended in America's favor and the currency gained value, Dexter's gamble paid off, making him one of the wealthiest men in America. Flush with cash, Dexter purchased a luxurious mansion and sought ways to display his newfound wealth. He commissioned 40 wooden statues of famous figures, including George Washington, Napoleon Bonaparte, Thomas Jefferson, and of course himself. The inscription under his statue boldly declared him the first in the East, the first in the West, and the greatest philosopher in the Western world. Dexter's life was a series of bizarre investments and strange decisions. He shipped warming pans to the Caribbean and coal to Newcastle during a coal strike, both ventures turning profitable against all odds. He hoarded whalebone just before it became fashionable for corsets, once again making a fortune. Later in life, Dexter faked his death to gauge people's reactions and even declared his still-living wife a ghost. He wrote an autobiography, A Pickle for the Knowing Ones, notorious for its lack of punctuation, which he later amended by adding a page of random punctuation marks. Lord Timothy Dexter, the Informer of Deer, passed away in 1806, leaving behind a legacy as one of the most colorful and peculiar figures in American history. His life, a testament to the unpredictable twists of fate and perhaps a peculiar kind of wisdom that defies conventional understanding. Timothy Dexter's story is a testament to the unpredictability of life and the strange paths to success. His legacy remains as a figure of both ridicule and admiration, a man who, despite his unconventional methods and apparent lack of intellect, managed to achieve remarkable success.